Hello, good evening. It's 12:54 a.m. and I'm up and running. Unbelievable. We'll see where this goes. Tonight I think we're going to get a little Trevor Hall to start the night off. And then we will, I think, look into the importance of your beautiful long hair, and for men, your facial hair, and see why we cut it instead of letting it grow naturally. The powers behind the beard and your sixth sense. Yes. So, without further ado, let's see here. We'll get this started.
This journey's got me bleeding, a certain kind of feeling. But I can never leave it. Good God, I know I need it. Arrows come straight for my heart. Arrows come straight for my heart. I thought I'd never face it, and now it's stripped me naked. Here standing in the open, I thought I missed the omen. Arrows come straight for my heart. Arrows come straight for my heart. The dark is all around me, but I'm so glad it found me. Yeah. Over the moon and through stars. Arrows come straight for my heart. Is all around me, but I'm so glad it found me. Yeah. Over the moon and through stars. Arrows come straight for my heart. Arrows come straight for my heart. The dark is all around me, but I'm so glad it found me. Yeah. Over the moon and through stars. Arrows come straight for my heart. Tell me what just happened, lonely. I remember walking up those stairs. were stepping into a sacred light. And tell me what just happened over there. I remember looking at the wrinkles on your hands, reminding me of rivers in the Holy Land. Tell me what just happened over there. I know. You can hear my soul. You can hear my soul. I know. You can hear my soul.
Welcome, Crystal. Very nice to see you.
Tell me what just happened over there.
Tip my hat at Tim. I'm starting to wonder about some stuff, but my back's killing me tonight. I'm just gonna watch. I've been wondering about some stuff as well, Crystal. Sorry about your back. I did read that today. Just getting started. I was gonna throw some videos up today by some various artists, well, creators, about the importance of hair, beard, your spirituality, and your sixth sense. And I thought I would give it just a few minutes for people to roll in. It's been about 7 minutes now. Checking all the sound levels.
You can hear my soul. You can hear my soul. I know. You can hear my soul.
Looks like everything's going. Sounds good. All right, welcome everybody. Glad to see you. I know it's a late night. I was doing IT work all day, and I don't know. I'm learning. I'm slow, but I get her done. All right, let's get this going. I'll be watching chat.
And so I wonder why.
A beard does not grow on just gurus, it grows on all men.
दाढ़ी सिर्फ गुरुओं की ही नहीं उगती, ये सारे आदमियों के चेहरे पर उगती है। लेकिन ये सारे लोग इसके साथ हर तरह की विचित्र चीजें कर रहे हैं। आपको उनसे पूछना चाहिए कि वो ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं। शरीर का कोई भी अंग बिना किसी मकसद के नहीं बना है। हर चीज के लिए, तिल्ली के लिए भी एक मकसद है।
There is a purpose.
तो कुदरत ने आपको बिना मकसद के कोई भी चीज नहीं दी है। अगर आप उनसे पूछें कि वो उसे क्यों काट रहे हैं, तो वो नहीं जानते, क्योंकि जब अंग्रेज भारत आए तब हर भारतीय के चेहरे पर दाढ़ी या कम से कम मूंछ हुआ करती थी। आज आप मुंबई की किसी सड़क पर निकल जाएं, आपको हर कोई मुछमुंडा दिखेगा, क्योंकि वो उन लोगों की नकल करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं जिन्होंने आकर उन पर राज किया। क्योंकि जो आप पर राज करते हैं वो ताकत का प्रतीक हैं। अगर आपकी संवेदनशीलता एक खास स्तर पर है, तब आप जानेंगे कि आपके शरीर में हर चीज का क्या असर होता है और उसका क्या पहलू है।
Oops. I don't know that
आपको
language,
लगता
but
है
I'm
कि ये
sure
एक फैशन है,
someone here
पर आपको
does.
ये भी
I
समझना
had
चाहिए कि आप अपने बालों को
I
अलग-अलग
had it
तरह से
up.
और आकार में
I
सिर्फ
had it
इसलिए
up.
कटवा रहे हैं क्योंकि
I
बालों में
had it
दर्द
up.
नहीं होता।
And this
अगर
is the
आपकी
link
नाक
it
में
sent
दर्द
me
नहीं
to.
होता तो
This
फैशन
isn't
को
what I
मानकर
watched though.
आप इसे भी अब तक कई तरह के आकारों में कटवा चुके होते। दर्द होने के बावजूद भी लोग
Tim
इसमें 10 जगहों पर
Bloopers.
छेद करा लेते हैं। अगर
Somehow
आपके
I've got
पूरे
all
शरीर
the
में कहीं दर्द नहीं
somehow
होता
I
तो
got on
आपने
the
अपनी
Indian
आंतें
channel.
बाहर निकाल ली होती और
Let me
उन्हें
go
इस तरह
back.
लेकर घूमते।
That's what it is.
Yes.
Sadhguru Hindi.
Yes or no?
All right. I see.
Right now, most human beings
I'll
ज्यादातर
just do
इंसान
this
इतने
manually.
जागरूक नहीं हैं, उनकी बुद्धि इतनी जागरूक नहीं है कि अगर कोई दर्द नहीं हो तो भी वो खुद को बचाकर सुरक्षित
Big
रख सके।
fat
बस
speed this
दर्द की
up.
वजह से ही वो साबुत दिखते
Pause.
हैं, वरना उन्होंने खुद को 2 टुकड़ों में
Hey,
काट लिया
Gordon's
होता
here.
और एक हाथ
Hello.
इधर और दूसरा हाथ उधर लेकर घूमते। वो
Right
खुद
on,
के साथ
brother.
हर तरह की बेहुदा
Yeah.
चीजें करते
No,
हैं।
I'm
केवल
having a
दर्द नहीं
blooper
उन्हें
right
बचाकर
now.
रखा है,
A
उनकी
blooper
समझदारी
moment.
ने नहीं। अगर
I'm
आपकी
gonna hide
बुद्धि और
this. I
आपकी
gotta speed up my
संवेदनशीलता काम करने
processes
लगती
here.
है, तब आपकी
I
चिंता
think
इस बारे में होगी
if I
कि
shut
आप
down
अपने भीतर
Discord, it would
कैसे
go
हैं
faster.
और आप
There
क्या
we go.
अनुभव करते हैं
That
और
takes
आपको
up a lot
ज्यादा
of
बोध कैसे हो सकता है।
wavelength.
आपकी चिंता ये नहीं होगी कि
All
आप
right.
कैसे
All
दिखते हैं।
right. All right.
तो इस लुक का फायदा
Okay.
ये है
Let me take a look.
कि अगर मेरे पास 10 साल तक भी शीशा ना हो तो भी मैं वैसा ही दिखूंगा।
I thought I stopped this.
जो लोग ये सब
There we go. Wow. Oh, come on. Work with me now. Work with me. Sadhguru and beards. Oh, yeah. Heck of a way to start the show. What do we got? Smoke breaks. Low stream strength. Yeah, this is the one I linked to right here. Wow. All right. Very good. It didn't take too long to find. YouTube has a new algorithm ever since they went down. And they're really pushing that YouTube TV. And everything's coming up weird nowadays. All right. Here we go.
A beard does not grow on just gurus, it grows on all men. Really.
Sure.
Believe me, it is so. But they're all doing all kinds of funny things with it. You must ask them, why are they doing it? Ask them, why are they doing it? No body part has come without a purpose, isn't it? For everything, including the spleen, there is a purpose. So nature did not give you anything without a purpose. If you ask them, why are they removing it, they don't know. Because when the English came to India, every Indian man had a beard or at least a moustache. Today you go out on the Mumbai street, everybody is a muchmunda because they're trying to imitate the people who came and ruled them. Because those who rule you are a symbol of power. If you're in a certain level of sensitivity, then you would know what is the effect and the aspect of, everything in your body. You think this is fashion, but you must understand the only reason why you're cutting your hair into various shapes and forms is because there is no pain in it. So if there was no pain in your nose, in the name of fashion, you would have cut it into many shapes by now. Even though there's pain, people are poking it in 10 different places today. Suppose there was no pain in your whole body, you would have taken your intestines out and go like this on the street. Yes? Yes or no? Right now, most human beings are not conscious enough, their intelligence is not conscious enough even to preserve themselves if there was no pain. It's only pain which is keeping them in one piece. Otherwise, they will cut themselves into two pieces and carry one hand here and one hand there. They would do all kinds of crazy things. Only pain is saving them, not their intelligence. If your intelligence begins to function, if your sensitivity begins to function, then your concern will be about how you are within yourself and what you experience and how you can perceive more. Your concern will be not about how you look. So, the advantage about the looks is, for 10 years if I don't have a mirror, I still look the same. People who are removing all this, one day without a mirror they look different, isn't it? And whatever your fashion of the day, have you seen pictures of people 50 years ago, 100 years ago? Somebody cut their mustache like this, somebody did this. Today you look at it, it looks funny, okay? They look like caricatures. And today's fashions also will look like that after a period of time. But a full bearded man looks the same always. 1,000 years later, he still looks the same because that's the way nature intended. Nature did not intend anything without a purpose. You believe in geometry and design. So the design is like this. I don't want to change the design of the creator, I want to use it to the fullest benefit.
Fantastic, fantastic. That was just a get her started one there. Let's pull up these other ones I put on hold so we could just go through these. Some different perspectives from different age groups that of spirits that have found the importance of hair even for women. We'll do one for the women next. Kind of go back and forth. I only have a couple for the beard. Let's check out this one. Because it's just as important for women to keep their hair as well. Doo-bop, 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 doo-bop. I know I'm not as pleasant as Trevor Hall. This guy here, young kid, but he's got it picked out. AbundantSource, the importance of natural hair. And we'll rewind him. Oh, we don't want that. Hugo's here. Hey, hello, Hugo. We're looking at beards and hair length and the importance of your antennae on your head and the importance of nutrition and health that go along with it. Okay. I thought, I don't know. We got to talk about beards earlier today in Discord, and I thought I would expand that and remind myself even the importance. But it's 1 o'clock and oh, it's 1:11. Hey, 1:11, 11:11. Very good. Except this thing seems to be going oddly slow. And it's usually my best stream time is in the middle of the night. All right. Let's have at it. Get her done.
People realize, most people just kind of see it as something to... Hey there, welcome to AbundantSource Raw, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about your hair, your antennas, and how it has more to do with your health and with your consciousness than most people realize. Most people just kind of see it as something to, you know, style up and make look nice and neat and cool and all that. But your hair is not just here for us to look nice. It does have a purpose, a very significant purpose, and you can think of them as like your little antennas, and they are basically receptors for energy. And so if you are cutting your hair, you're basically cutting off a portion of your energy receptors and a way for your body to communicate with itself. People are always cutting and straightening their hair, and it's like they are pretty much mutilating and burning a very important sensory device that your body uses to communicate with itself and to gather information and to gather energy. And so people are just destroying their hair in all different kinds of ways, different dyes and unnatural coloring, shampoo, just taking a shower in fluoridated water is going to be terrible for the hair. And so we're basically numbing the senses of our body and the senses of our hair. And the hair is attached to different nerve endings in the body, and are basically extensions of your nervous system. You're basically cutting a portion of what gives signals to your nervous system. So I decided a while ago, even before I knew all of this, that I really didn't want to cut my hair. I wanted to try and be as natural as possible and just let it grow. And there's definitely kind of been a little bit of sort of unsureness, I guess, for lack of a better word, about whether I should keep growing my hair, because I know that when I'm struggling and things like that, and I know that I could go back to one of my jobs. I used to be a valet, and it paid really nicely, and it was a pretty easy job, and I fairly enjoyed it. But you got to be clean shaven, you got to have a clean shaven head, can't have any long hair. And so there's so many times when I just thought, dang, should I just cut my hair and go back to that and make some easy money and all that, and give in to that and just let go of this idea of trying to be totally natural right now. So that's come up for me a lot, but I'm so glad that I didn't give in, because I now know just how important my hair is, and I really hope to never cut it again, because I really value my health more than I value trying to make money. And I want to be basically as sensitive as possible. I don't want to numb the senses of my body. I want, every part of your body has been given to you for a reason, and it grows naturally, and it is the way it's supposed to without you messing with it. It's there for a purpose, everything. And your hair is no exception. Your hair, it's incredible. Human beings have something that no other animals on this planet have, this super long, crazy long hair that just keeps on growing. And there is a certain point that it does stop. There's a point where it kind of reaches its peak, and so once you get to that point, it's like your hair has reached maturity, and now you've just got a super sensitized device, antennas, for totally bringing in energy and things like that, and really giving you a greater sense of basically everything. And as far as the dreads, I think I started them maybe about 1.5 years ago, maybe close to 2 years now, and I got inspired by Mikkel from Sweet Natural Living, and he had the long dreads for a long time, and I didn't know that dreads just happen naturally if you just didn't touch your hair, and so that sounded really cool to me. And then I thought, well, shoot, I imagined that pretty much every human being on the planet had dreads back before we invented combs. I'm sure that there were humans that brushed their hair with their hands and kind of gave each other massages and gently did that with their hands every once in a while, but it really is hard to keep your hair undreaded if you aren't combing it every day. It will start to dread pretty quickly if you don't touch it. So I do imagine that most humans in the past all were basically dreaded. And it doesn't matter what type of hair you can have the straightest hair on the planet, and it will still dread if you leave it alone. And so there is a importance, there is a reason for that as well. When your hair basically coils up like this, it becomes even more, basically more sensitized and I guess more powerful. It becomes an even greater receptor for energy and things like that. You know, we're always receiving solar energy from the sun, and that's going into our hair. And you know, we're receiving tons of awesome energy from you know, just the sun, the prana, all around us, everything, even other people. And that's why you'll see, at least one of the reasons why you'll see a lot of these yogis and stuff who have the long hair, who have them up and you know, protected. Basically, they're basically protecting their hair. At least this is some of the reason that why they do it, because you know, when you've got this long dreaded hair, you're super sensitized to other people's energies, and so sometimes it can be too much when you are in like a city or in a place with a bunch of people and they've all got all these different energies and they're kind of bombarding you, and you're super sensitive to it because you've got these amazing receptors that you haven't touched or, you know, killed or anything like that, and so it picks up on all that. So it's kind of protection for themselves, for their own energy, so that way it doesn't get influenced by these sort of less enlightened energies from other people. You know, it seems really strange that cutting your hair is so big, and you know, it's almost looked down on in certain places if you don't have a clean cut hair, and you know, you let it grow like this. Most people still look at you like you're a little weird. And it's so weird that cutting your hair has become so big. Why wouldn't you just leave it natural and leave it the way that it was created? And to be honest with you, I somewhat believe that a big portion of why it's so big, you know, in our culture, is that there are people that know this. There are people that know that the hair has significance, and they're trying to sort of suppress that and promote clean shaven hair, so that way, you know, we are less connected to our environment and to the source and to oneness, and so that way we're not gathering as much energy to, you know, open up the pineal gland and to be able to just feel energy at the level that human beings are supposed to be able to feel energy. There's so many different ways that humans are being suppressed from feeling, you know, the natural power that we're naturally supposed to have. And cutting your hair is just one of those. And now, I'm not saying that you can't become incredibly zen and feel connected to everything if you are cutting your hair. I'm just saying it makes it a lot easier to receive energy and all that if you just leave it alone. You know, it's more about mindset and meditation and you know, your own personal growth that's going to be the most beneficial to you. But leaving your hair alone and letting it grow and also letting it lock up will just be that much more beneficial to you, and will help you to receive that much more energy for getting connected. And I'm growing my beard out a little bit, but I do shave that because I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little strange. It doesn't come out right. I have a lot of silver hairs. It's almost like I still have childish peach fuzz all over the place, and I just can't seem to grow it that well. It looks a little strange, but I think I'm gonna try and grow it out further and see what happens and see what it looks like, because I really don't want to cut it. You know, I kind of enjoy my little styled whatever this is, my goatee, but I would rather have a full beard, so I'm just gonna leave it alone for a little bit, I think, and see what that looks like. So I think that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for more videos on fruitarianism, spirituality, and natural living, and I'll talk with you in the next video. Thank you for watching.
Welcome, Valerie. We're covering the importance of the hair on ladies as well as the facial hair on men, and the powers that they possess, the healing properties, the intake of prana, the sun, your pituitary, the importance. I was just saying about wooden combs, what they're saying, the experts say, I'm not the expert on hair, by the way, but I have a lot. What they say is a wooden comb, because when you're combing your hair with a normal brush, it creates static electricity, and your hairs are all nerve endings going into different nerve endings that affect different parts of your body. And so they were saying static electricity will cause short circuits in those nerve inputs and sensory information. So I put a few pages down in my description so we could just easily go through these. I promised a female one here, but I missed it, so it's down here farther. Okay. So, I want something for the ladies too here. And I want to do some more research on this. This was kind of a last minute thing. I was talking to Duty about my beard and about the importance of hair, and we got to talking about how the Native Americans had lost their tracking abilities after they had gotten their hair cut to join the military, and it was either World War I or II. And so I didn't really have a lot of time. I didn't do a lot of digging, so this is something I'm going to touch back in on at another time. Maybe I can find some better articles that I'll just read. But I was kind of out of ideas for tonight anyway, being so late. And I just didn't, well, here we are. So let me go back to where I was because I got lost while I was talking. Okay, I did that. This is what I want. But it's good to see everyone. Valerie says, why are these so blurry? Valerie says, miss my Motley crew. I know. I was tired yesterday. I went after it and I went after it, and then, unlike me, I don't usually play video games. And I run across this site and I started messing around, and that took up time, and here we are today, 1 o'clock in the morning. Whatever. So, and then I was having, which this still isn't perfect over here, this computer, but it's working a little better. I was dinking around with it, trying to get the gravel out of the bottom so it stopped grinding. Seems better. Not perfect, but better. Oh, the dyeing too, correct. Dyeing of the hair, the harsh shampoos, everyday washing. I think this what is this? That's not right. See what I mean? It keeps taking you somewhere else with the link. This is weird. Yeah, this is Conjure Queen. It should have taken me to her page. Let's try that again. I might have to type her name in because this putting links in doesn't seem to work anymore. Okay, here we go. Looking at it from some different perspectives. There's some commercials in this one, but what are you going to do? I'll try to mute them when they come up.
And in this segment, we are going to get into hair and spirituality and how the two are connected. So a lot of people don't realize this, but your hair is your spiritual antennas into the spiritual dimensions. So, for instance, we have trees, right? Trees are like the antennas to the earth. They pick up signals and they also give off signals. Same with our hair. There's different hair types, there's different hair textures, different hairstyles, all types of things that deal with the hair, right? And you know, a lot of people don't realize that the way that you maintain and manage your hair has a lot to do with your mental state, like your mind state, and also your spirituality. For instance, you'll notice that a person who has really messy hair, who doesn't take care of their hair, they don't wash their hair, they don't comb their hair, they just have matted hair, they don't do nothing to it, right? You'll notice that they either live very chaotic lives or their thoughts are really always scattered. You understand? Like, for instance, you ever like miss the hair appointment, ladies are probably having back-to-back bad hair days, and it's like your whole mood is just off. It's like you don't feel good, but it's like as soon as you get your hair done and you looking like a superstar, your hair's on fleek, makeup on fleek, everything's on fleek, you feel good, right? It's because your hair has a lot to do with how you think and also how you feel. Because remember, our hair is, we emit signals as well as we receive them. These are our antennas, and not just on a third dimensional level, but also on higher dimensional levels, spiritual levels. This is how we receive messages, and this is also how we give messages telepathically, not just to other human beings, but also telepathically to other dimensional beings, to plants, to animals, and other life forms. Like, hair is a really powerful element in the spiritual world, and a lot of people underestimate the power of hair. You understand? Like, for instance, the Buddhists, right? In order to become a Buddhist and to really become serious, the monks would shave off all of their body hair, including all of the hair on their head, because they believe that when you cut your hair, you are cutting off your old ways. You are leaving behind the materialistic world, and you are only solely focused on your spiritual elevation. Because hair is also tied into the material realm. A lot of people are so caught up on their hairstyle, how their hair makes them look. They get caught up in vanity that they forget the spiritual aspect of hair. So that is why the monks cut their hair off, symbolizing I'm leaving that old me behind. I'm cutting off my hair, symbolizing I'm cutting off my old ways. I'm starting off new. Right, ladies? Like, you ever notice, for instance, when a woman just got over a really bad breakup, we tend to do what? We cut our hair, we dye our hair, or we change something about our hair. Why do we do that? Y'all seen Waiting to Exhale. Remember when, what's her name? Angela, she cut her hair off, right? She cut her hair because she was mad. She had long, beautiful hair. Everybody was mad that she cut her hair, but it just symbolized a revolutionary, a new her, a new me, right? So we as women, we are very connected to our hair, and a lot of us can relate on the same level. It's just kind of like, oh, she just cut her hair. She just made a big leap. Like, she did the big chop. So you know it's like a new beginning, a hair journey. For example, my hair, right? The first time I got a relaxer was when I was like 3 or 4 years old. You understand? I was young. My mom, she was young too, so she didn't know how to manage my hair. And way back, you know, back in those days, they didn't really have like YouTube videos and a lot of the hair care products that we have now on the shelves for natural hair, for kinky hair. And I got some really kinky hair, y'all. I'm talking about like happily nappy kinky hair, okay? And my mom, she just didn't know how to handle it, so she just was like, all right, I'm just going, it's either I cut the hair or I perm it. So she gave me a perm when I was 3. So long story short, growing up, like, I never really got a chance to embrace and understand my true natural hair. And this is the case with a lot of, you know, Black, African American, Afro-Latina, melanated people who have kinky hair. You know, society has forced us to believe that our natural kinks are ugly, but all reality is beautiful. It's unique. And actually, spirally hair also it coordinates with the spirals of energy, right? Because energy spirals, right? And also does the coiling of our hair. It also spirals. That's that 9 ether, baby. And only thing I'm saying is people who have kinkier hair tend to have a much stronger connection to source, because the tighter the spirals, the easier it is to entrap and pull in energy, right? And y'all can research this. This is science. If you look at an electric bulb, a light bulb, you see when you look inside of a light bulb, it doesn't just have a straight wire. You notice that the wire is spiraling, right? Because that's the way that it conducts and releases energy so that you can have light. This is science. Okay, you can research this yourself. So just understanding not just the physical science of how energy works, but the metaphysical, the unseen force. And that's what this spirituality is all about. Hair is such a powerful thing. Like the hair, like once I decided that I wanted to cut my permed hair off, I cut my permed hair, when was it? In 2014, I believe it was 2014. I had cut off my hair. I did the big chop. And, you know, it was hard because it was like I identified with my long, straight hair. Like I was always known as the girl with the long, straight hair, right? So when I cut that, it was like, in essence, I also cut off the old part of me, because I wanted to, and like as I began to step more into my spiritual path, I knew that I would have to learn to love myself, all parts of myself, and get to know me better. And how can I get to know me better and go through the spiritual journey if I didn't even know what my hair texture was like? So that's why I had to do some more soul searching and meditation, figuring out what is the next step that I have to take, Spirit. And Spirit told me, Spirit was like, you're going to have to cut your hair. So I'm like, I'm not cutting my hair, Spirit. But lo and behold, what I end up doing the big chop in 2014. And let me tell y'all, when I had cut my hair and I went natural, let me tell you, the energy was so intense. I was picking up energy from the trees, from the sun, from the animals, from the insects, from the plants, telepathically from other human beings. I felt so sensitive to energy. It was just something new that I wasn't used to. It was just a different feeling that you would have to experience. I can't really express in words. It was just an experience that's like different. It was just like a whole new world opened up for me. I started to understand and receive the language of the trees. I really felt like the trees and the plants were talking to me, and it was on a telepathic level. So it wasn't until I cut off my dead hair, which was my relaxed hair, and I started to allow my true natural hair to grow out, is when I really was able to start channeling spirit and channeling energy. And that's why they wanted me to cut my hair, because they were saying to me, look, you have a mission. We need you to deliver this message to people, but how can we convey the message to you if your antennas are damaged? I had damaged antennas. I had damaged my hair with the relaxers, with the perms, with the straightening, and all of that. So they told me I had to cut my hair off and rebuild and repair my antennas. And once my antennas were repaired, I was able to receive these messages. So this is what I'm telling you. Ladies and fellas, your hair, your crown is your glory. Take care of your hair. Keep your hair clean so that you will have clean thoughts. Keep your hair detangled so that your thoughts will not be tangled up, okay, so that you won't be scatterbrained. It's good to comb through your hair, brush your hair, keep your hair clean, smelling good all the time, because cleanliness is godliness. That's a fact. If your hair is messy, so will your life be messy. So will your thoughts be messy. You understand? All of this is related to hair. Some spiritual beliefs and certain cultures believe that if you cut your hair, you are also cutting off your power. You are cutting off your connection to source. That's why a lot of Buddhists or shamans, not Buddhists, what they call them, the Brahmins, the ancients, the men who will go into the woods and just cut, the hermits, they will cut off themselves from society and just let their hair grow. They will let their locks grow out. Rastafarians done it. It's like they're not supposed to cut their hair, because they're supposed to allow that hair to grow, symbolizing that they're not cutting off their magic power. Also, some witches and certain paths believe that if you was to cut your hair during a waning moon, that you will lose your power, but you're supposed to cut your hair during a waxing moon, meaning when the moon is growing. They also have a belief that if you want your hair to grow, you would cut your hair like you would cut your ends when the moon is growing, right? Between the new moon and the waxing moon and the full moon. But when you want your hair to remain short and you don't want your hair to grow back fast, you would cut your hair during the waning moon, and that's between the full moon and the full moon and the waning moon, or the full moon and the new moon, the dead moon. So moon cycles, hair, spirituality, all of this stuff is connected, and you can do your own research finding out more about like how hair is related to the spirit, to your spirituality, how like what different cultures thought about hair, cutting your hair, dyeing your hair, braiding your hair. I know a lot of people who told me like once they locked their hair that they also started picking up on a lot of energy. Locks pick up a lot of energy, but remember, if you're going to have locks, you have to be careful of the energies that you pick up, okay? And speaking about energies that you pick up, don't let everybody touch your hair. Don't let everybody do your hair. Everybody shouldn't have their hands in your hair. I don't know. I don't know about y'all, but a lot of people from the South, black people from the South, a lot of blacks, especially like the old Southern people from the South, they'll be like, look, baby, don't let everybody touch your hair. Don't comb your hair where everybody's combed. Don't brush your hair where everybody's brushed. Don't do your hair at everybody's house. There's even a saying that you shouldn't allow a pregnant woman to do your hair, because if a pregnant woman do your hair gonna fall out. Okay, so black people, we have a whole bunch of sayings. I don't know where these sayings come from, but my grandmother was the queen of superstition. Like, she had a saying for everything. But all I know is those sayings somehow, some way had truth to it. Because I remember somebody, a cousin of mine, a while ago, got her hair done by this pregnant girl, but she didn't know that the girl was pregnant. And lo and behold, her hair wasn't growing like it was. Her hair was falling out and all of that. And so my grandmother was like, see, I told you, don't get your hair done by nobody that's pregnant. So after that, everybody just started listening to my grandmother. We don't know the logic behind it, but there's a saying that pregnant people shouldn't do your hair. I don't know why. But not just pregnant people, you shouldn't allow anybody to touch your hair. There's a reason why, like, once I cut my hair and I started going natural, I wanted to build a relationship with my hair. So I stopped going to the beautician. I used to always go to the Dominicans every 2 weeks, go to the Dominicans, get my wash and my blowout and my wrap, or whatever, my wash and set or whatever. But then it was like, you know what? Whenever you go to, like, different hairstylists and different people touching your hair, you notice that either your hair fall out, the texture's not the same, like, there's some people who have growing hands, and growing hands just basically means that they have a lot of good energy, and when they touch your hair just tends to grow. Like, y'all ever find somebody like that one good hairstylist, and it's like she's the only person that you go to? Even the fellas, there's that one barber that you go to because you trust him. There's like a connection that you build, and you don't even realize why, but it's a spiritual connection that you build with that person, because when they touch your hair, they're also becoming connected to you. It's almost as intimate as sex. There's an energy exchange when somebody touches your hair. So that's why for a lot of hairstylists, y'all also have to be wary of the clients that you take in, the clients that you choose to do whose hair, because if you doing different heads all the time, and let's say for instance, you start feeling sick or nauseous, or just having headaches, and you don't even know why, 9 times out of 10 it's because you picked up the energy of one of your clients who probably didn't have good karma, good energy around them. So if you're a hairstylist, a barber, you have to take extra caution into your spiritual cleansings and your protection. If you have to do hair, you probably can't wear rings when you braiding and, crocheting or cutting hair, whatever. So you probably have to take your rings off. If you could wear bracelets, I would definitely recommend wearing bracelets, especially like hematite, obsidian, black tourmaline, the all-seeing eye on your left wrist. That way you filter out what energy you absorb into your body, okay? So take that into consideration. Also, just taking salt baths every now and then, every so often, when you finish working with the client. Sage your home. If you're doing work, if you do hair and stuff at home, and you cutting that hair, and you got all those different people's energy in your house, you have to at least sage your house. As soon as all your clients go, matter of fact, you sage, you bless your house before the clients come in, and you bless and sage your house when they leave out. So whatever energy they left there, it goes right out the door with them, okay? So keep that in mind, especially when you're doing business at home, where you lay your head to rest. You always want to make sure that your space is purified, consecrated, and blessed, and protected, okay? So don't let everybody touch your hair. Not everybody has good intentions for you. People who have negative energy will tend to make your hair fall out. This is a fact. People will also transfer their energy to you. People touching your hair transfer their energy to you, and not only that, they steal your energy. We spoke about this in a previous video about psychic vampires. Some people are vampires and they don't even know it. You ever have a random person just walk up to you and start touching your hair like, oh my God, your hair is so pretty. And they just want to touch you like you a dog. It's okay to back them and tell them, no, excuse me, you can't touch my hair. You understand? There's nothing disrespectful about you having boundaries for yourself. You have to know your limits, have boundaries, and let people know you're not going to touch me. You're not going to touch me like a dog. You're not going to touch my hair. Point blank, period. And if they don't understand it and they get an attitude because of that, then oh well. It's your hair. It's your body, and they have to respect your rules, right? So I'm telling y'all, man, these people, they will really try to steal your energy and all of that. If you let them respect your energy, and they will learn to respect you. If you let people do whatever they want to do to you, they will treat you however they want to treat you. Have boundaries. Respect yourself. Okay, so we got into cleanliness. We got into don't letting people touch your hair. Now we're going to get into wearing wigs. I still got this cough, y'all. Sorry. So, wearing wigs. Boom. I remember one of my subscribers had asked, was it okay to wear wigs doing spiritual work? A lot of the ancient Egyptians, the Kemites, wore wigs. And I noticed this in history. Like, some people say that they shaved their head and they wore wigs. I feel like, me personally, wigs are cool. I don't have nothing against wigs. Nowadays, they making wigs that look like your hair. So, you know, if it's fashionable, if you like it, wear a wig. You know, if you don't feel like wearing head wraps all the time, you can wear wigs. But this is what I'm saying. If you want to give yourself a break, because remember, like I said, your hair is your spiritual antennas. Some people I know, like if you work in a really hectic environment like customer service, a call center, retail, and you're just dealing with a lot of hectic people, especially if you're working in like a hospital or something like that, you want to wrap your hair up. You understand? Get one of those like nice African print head wraps. Those white head wraps. It could be whatever fashionable. Head wraps are so fashionable now, and they have a ton of YouTube videos teaching you how to style it, how to wrap your head wraps and all of that. So check those out. I would definitely say wearing wigs and head wraps give you a break from like having your hair out, especially if you're doing spiritual work. If you are a spiritualist like me and you do a lot of work for clients and you do a lot of readings, it's always good to cover your hair when you do your readings. If you're doing spiritual in the middle of doing a ceremony, lighting candles, doing rituals, it's advised to always cover your hair, especially if you're doing like darker work. You're supposed to cover your hair. If you're doing work for other people, you're supposed to cover your hair, especially if you're not washing your hair every day. Okay, like you want to cover your hair, give yourself a break. That way you filter out the energies that you're pulling in and pushing out. Because when you're doing the spiritual work, remember, spirit is communicating with you through your hair, because your hair is directly connected to your head. This is why also you have to be careful with who gets your hair. You understand? Whenever I go get my hair done, somewhere, like let's say I go to the beauty salon and I get my hair done, get my hair twisted, and the girl is combing my hair out, I ask her for every little strand that comes in that comb. I want my hair. And at first, you know, when I go to somebody new, they think I'm weird until I tell them why. I'll be like, oh well, I like my hair because I like to burn it. It makes my hair grow, which is another saying that black people do. They say don't take your hair and throw it in a garbage can, because if the birds get to it, it can make you go crazy. If a bird makes a nest out of your hair, they say that it will make you go mad. Like your thoughts will be all scattered. So that's why we take our hair, we flush it in the toilet, or we burn it. And they say if you burn your hair, then your hair will grow, right? And it's also a way to make sure nobody gets to it. So anyway, when I go to the salon, I make sure that I get my hair and I take my hair home with me and I do what I want to do with it. Because I'm not going to leave my hair somewhere where anybody could walk all over it and do what they want to my hair. You crazy? Especially now that I'm living in New Orleans, I'm especially careful with who do my hair and where my hair going. I don't play that. Because if a person gets your hair, they can start messing with your thoughts. Right? They start messing with the way you think, the way you, everything, your life. You mess up somebody's mind, you got their mind, you got their body, right? Be careful with who gets your hair. Also, we already talked about the tangling your hair. Make sure that your hair is not tangled up. Tangled hair leads to tangled up thoughts. Your thoughts will not be clear. Your mind will be all jumbled, and you won't be able to think clearly, speak clearly, or do things clearly. You'll be all over the place, having scattered thoughts, starting a whole bunch of projects, not being able to finish it. Okay? Comb out your hair, comb out the kinks, and just, you'll have clearer thoughts. Trust me. Management of your hair is very important. Keeping your hair clean, neat, managed will do you wonders. Okay? And also, just a little trick, a little tip that I have for y'all. I like to add little like gold and copper in my hair, because copper and gold amplifies energy. It conducts energy stronger and faster. So add
DC insider Haley Stevens says she believes new
We just had an interesting night of live streaming, and thanks to everyone who's hanging out. Oh my goodness. And man, so anyway, I touched on this subject on the first live stream a little, just to touch on the second one as well. Want to just go ahead, record the video. Don't know when this is going to be uploaded. Might be uploaded in a short amount of time, or I don't know. But I want to just have a video that speaks to beard philosophy. Big props here as I'm opening to Dub Murphy for the idea of this. Beard philosophy, and speak to the issue of beards, how they should be regarded by us, how we should regard our own beards, and all of that kind of thing. And I've talked about having beardfidence, being confident in the beard that you grow, even though we live in a culture where that is not the norm, where, you know, you can walk around and you can see judgmental glances, you know that people might be treating you differently, all that kind of thing. How can you fight through that? And a lot of it just comes down to freedom. That's at the crux of the bearded experience, because your beard is an expression of your freedom. You know, the reason in the industrial age why men would be forced to shave, and why, you know, in the assembly lines and with all the commercialization, industrialization, factory life, late 1800s, early 1900s, what was transitioning, what was happening was, in those environments, they wanted to take away individuality, they wanted to take away freedom, and people grow different beards. No two beards are alike. No two beards have the exact same, you know, elements and coloring and thickness and look and feel and all that. It's incredible the amount of individuality that your beard affords you. And it says a lot about you. And it's about freedom. And in the industrial age, they went ahead and they castrated mankind in the name of mass making people just like cookie cutter. So if you go to the Ford factory, Henry Ford could look gladly over his empire and just see a sea of guys that are just completely clean shaven, no individuality. It's all set up, you know, all that kind of thing. And that is really the birth. I mean, you know, in the rural areas and stuff like that, guys could just bing, ding, 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 you know, old Pappy could still have a beard. But I'm talking about in greater society, you know, it was all cookie cutter. And then some people, if they were walking in great levels of freedom, they could have, you know, the mustache. And, you know, managers and leaders in that day would have mustaches because they wouldn't have to submit to the status quo. And it became the norm, you know, and in the 50s, of course, and even into the 60s, you know, there was, I mean, beards were just, I mean, they're just not mainstream, because there seems to be a concern or a fear in society of making them mainstream because a lot of people can't grow them, and because they are individualized, and because they cannot be prepackaged, and because nobody's are the same. And there's a part of society, and even in our own warped selves, where some of us hunger after just molding and shaping ourselves into what we're supposed to be, being little chameleons, and that's not the way it was designed. We were all designed to grow beards. We were. I mean, you know, when you wake up in the morning, there was some growth that happened. Maybe it wasn't much, but there was some. And now some guys struggle with beard growth, and that's why I'm a beard coach. But at the core of beard philosophy is this idea that if there is to be an outrageous idea in Western civilization, it's not the growing of one's beard, it's the cutting of one's beard. It's the taking it down. There's a reason it grows every morning. And the very fact that people have to have explanations for growing what is supposed to be grown on a man's face. That's the main defining difference between men and women. Why does it look so strange, so repulsive, so weird when a woman has a beard? Because there's something programmed in us that just doesn't click with that, because we know what it symbolizes. And that's not to hate or judge or anything, any woman that would grow a beard or anything like that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is and just innate in us is this understanding of beards, that it is the norm. It is the norm. And, you know, so there might be somebody that's like, wait, you know, like if society embraced our design, then it would be the ones that didn't have beards that would be like, whoa, really? You're gonna shave? Really? But you're gonna be in the wedding. You're gonna shave, but you're gonna be a best man, really? Because, I mean, hey, we could give you you've got like a month and a half. You could grow something, right? Because for a wedding, it's a nice occasion. And then they can give the excuse, well, I have to shave because, you know, I'm having some trouble in this area, and they would say, well, no, it's okay. You know, I just want you to have a beard. I don't want you to look weird. I mean, you know, you are a man, right? I just want you to look weird. Now, this video is not to say that every man should have a beard, though. Because at the core of beard philosophy is freedom. If there's a man who wants to have a goatee, he should be free to have a goatee. If there's a man who really wants to be clean shaven, by all means, be clean shaven. But there's no way you should be judging me for growing my beard out when that's the way we're freaking designed. You're the one, if you're shaving, you're the one that's actually going around that design and choosing a different path, which should make that the course of action that would most reasonably require an explanation. Beard philosophy is all about freedom, so it's not about imposing. Because how sad would that be if there was somebody that really didn't want to have a beard, but they would you were forced to be bearded? You do whatever you want, but don't judge people who are bearded. Now, what does this do to beardfidence? What does this do to the confidence that you have when you walk around your community and you have a beard? Well, I hope it conveys a sense of pride. Even if the people around you don't realize it, they're a part of an emasculating trend that was brought on by an onslaught of an industrial machinery, cookie cutter human being mindset that didn't have to be there, and they're submitting to that so they can look like everybody else. So it's not, I mean, it's so weird because we can struggle and think, oh, you know, I look weird and da-da-da, and like, you know, really, you don't. It's just that we are beginning to come into the understanding as a society that men actually look bearded. And it's a revolutionary idea. It's a revolutionary idea. You know, it grows every morning. Every morning it's there. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe. Beardfidence. Even if everyone around you thinks you're crazy, even if everybody around you thinks you're nuts, even if everybody around you thinks you should shave, thinks you should take care of that thing, you should chop it off, you should freaking get in line and stop asking questions and stop challenging things and stop looking weird and stop looking like an individual here. If you know that 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 you were designed to have a beard and you look good with a beard and you want to have a beard, what in the world? You're doing the normal thing, and it will make you feel at times abnormal because the establishment and the establishment mindset will always be that cookie cutter, submit, get in line. And what beard culture does is says no. It may be unpredictable. I may have 5 colors in this thing. You may not know how long I'm going to grow it. And it might not look like any other beard in my community or even in my country. It's unique. It's everybody's beard is unique. It might just go ahead and challenge all those little things you have floating in your mind. But catch this. I am me, and I'm going to express my freedom, and that's just the way that little cookie is going to crumble. Beard freedom. It's not about imposing anything. It's not about imposing anything. It's about just saying, you know what? If a man wants to look like a man, he should at least have the right to do so and to be respected for it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Beardsupport.com. If your beard needs help, I want to help you. I want your beard to look its best. I want you to be able to go from one level of beardage to the next. I want you to stay encouraged. I want you to stand by those commitments that you made in your heart late at night when you were thinking about your beard and you watched my beard video and you thought, I have to make a commitment because I want to stand by my beard when no one else does. Welcome to my world. Welcome to Spanish Beard. Welcome to a place where you can experience community, where you can experience beard knowledge, beard understanding. We also have beardalbum.com. It's a website that's sort of a social media and sort of like Facebook, but it's for beards and it's for beardsmen and it's awesome, and you can blog and you can do anything that you want. Thanks so much for watching this video. Be strong in the bearded arts. Be a bearded force to be reckoned with. With all the beardfidence you can muster, walk in your beardstony, holding your beard hairs high, knowing that you have chosen a higher way. And yet you embrace all those around you, regardless of what they've chosen, understanding that you are living out the way that you know you're supposed to. And that's enough for you. And yet you embrace all those around you, regardless of what they've chosen, understanding that you are living out the way that you know you're supposed to. And that's enough for you.
Break me out the pattern, the rings of Saturn, yeah. Get me out of my way. I surrender mission to gain another vision. Get me out of my way. The stars, they be whispering, longing to be kindred. Get me out of my way. A true double seeker to find the inner teacher. Get me out of my way. I'm still learning how to walk in my fire. Live in my fire, love in my fire. I'm still learning how to walk in my fire. Live in my fire, love in my fire. If I try to push, I leave myself blinded, yeah. Get me out of my way. And so I stay reminded, it's all perfect time.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was kind of out of ideas today, messing with a bunch of stuff, so I wanted to get up and, oh, that's the problem. I wanted to get up and have some kind of show today anyway. Even if it was short, so I'm going to be calling it a night, but I appreciate you coming in, pal, and anyone else that might be there. And I will try to get on earlier tomorrow, like before midnight. So I'll just keep it short tonight, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much. With this song finished. Thumbs up.